Can you negotiate your salary if you are a fresh graduate, if you are currently unemployed, if you're changing careers, or if you have a gap in your resume? Short answer, yes. I released a video on salary negotiation tips back in 2019, and these are some of the most common questions I have received. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can negotiate in spite or because of the things that you think are holding you back. Coming right up. Hey Supercharger, welcome. My name is Sonal, Bahl, a former HR director and career strategist. And in this channel, I share practical tips on how you can get that job you've been dreaming of, the promotion you deserve, and have a richer, happier, and more purposeful life. If this is what you're after, please make sure you're subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you don't miss another video, and let's dive in. Before we talk about all of these questions, please make sure you stick till the very end because I'm going to be sharing with you this one particular tip that you may or may not like to hear, but I guarantee you need to hear it. All right? So if there's one thing in common in all of these questions that I asked at the start of the video, do you know what that is? It's I, me, me, me. Now, the ninja trick here is to flip it, and instead of focusing on something that you think is a liability for you, how about showcasing how you are adding value to the company, and irrespective of your background, whether you're a fresh graduate, whether you're changing careers, it doesn't matter. I have negotiated when I was a fresh graduate. I negotiated when I had a pause in my career and when I changed careers. Am I smarter than anybody else out there? No. Hundreds of thousands of people have done that. I have proof of it. I have seen it in that video on salary negotiation. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do it. It's close to 1 million views. It's helped thousands of people. And I really, really think when it comes to the art of negotiation, that is one of, personally speaking, one of the best videos out there. So these are low value questions. Can I negotiate when I am like this or like that? Convert them into high value questions. What is it that the company is really looking for, and how can I give it to them better than anyone else out there? So let's take specific examples. As far as a fresh graduate is concerned, the graduate is thinking, I don't have experience, I don't have skills, I'm not a tried and tested product. How can I negotiate? Focus on what you have that others don't have. For example, a fresh set of eyes. And you have hunger. You bring in passion that others don't. You're still sort of blue-eyed and thinking you can change the world and all of that enthusiasm that only fresh graduates have. And also showcase how internships, projects, leadership skills back in university, how all of these can help the company, right? Don't just focus on me, and that's why I'm negotiating. How can all of this help them? So translate all of your achievements to the problems of the company. The other example, which is very much related, is changing careers, right? Your best friends in the whole wide world, when you're changing careers, is transferable skills. So what is it that you have this inventory of skills? What does that look like? And what is it that the company needs? Map it together. I talk a lot about this in detail in this video, so definitely check it out. And when you do that mapping, showcase how you are actually better than the others who may not have, because they may have been, for example, in banking their entire career, whereas you come from banking and pharma. So you have different skill sets, and sometimes different is better than better. The other example is, a lot of people have asked me when they are unemployed, particularly over a period of time, they feel they are not in a position to negotiate. I could not disagree more. And some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you will feel sort of illogical, will not make a lot of sense, but just trust me with this one. So instead of focusing on the fact that you're not currently working, showcase the fact that you have done courses and classes and upgraded your skills, and hence are of immense value to the company, because these courses are exactly, the skill set is exactly what they're looking for. And volunteering your time, oh my goodness, people talk about it, people listen, but how many are actually doing it? That can help you to showcase leadership skills that you did in your outreach community. Maybe because of COVID, you went ahead and implemented certain projects in your neighborhood, in your community that others did not. And also focus on some of the life skills that you have become strong at because of this time in your hand. Maybe, let's say if you had a baby or you were taking care of a sick relative, you were responsible for everything regarding that person's life. That's a big, big commitment. And showcasing how, for example, if you're looking for a project manager position, then showcase how you treated the entire thing like a project, right? I mean, they're looking for someone who's green belt certified. You are green belt certified already, but you haven't worked, for example, in 2-3 years. Then you can showcase how you were responsible for logistics, for catering, for all of their traveling, and the entire end-to-end care of that person. So there is no limit. You just have to have an open mind. And don't forget, the biggest asset you have when you are currently unemployed, it means that you are ready to start immediately. So if you're capable and you look like you know what you're talking about and you can start next week, I, as a recruiter, will jump at the opportunity to hire you. So I hope these examples help you, and I hope I don't get any more questions on this, because you really, really can negotiate. But keep in mind, this is important, and I've said this before, keep in mind, not all companies have a culture where people can negotiate. Sometimes salaries are transparent, for example, in the not-for-profit sector or in a startup sector, right? So they may have a band, and if salaries are open and they're well known, then there is not a lot of leverage. However, it doesn't hurt to ask. And if money is not on the table, then you can ask for so many other things that I've talked about in other videos that you can ask for, including, remote work, flexibility, holiday allowance, childcare. Different things matter to different people, maybe a higher bonus or whatever. There is really no end. And the one last thing that I will say is, I talked about it in this podcast episode, which is related to bias in recruitment. And what I said over there is that there are two types of people, according to me. And this is the one where I said, people will love it or it will trigger them. There are the obtainers who go out there and obtain results in spite of the obstacles in front of them. And then there are the complainers. And they're like, yeah, it's never going to happen. It's very difficult. Now, I have read every single comment in that salary negotiation video, and I can see there are two types of people. The obtainers have gone ahead and negotiated and are surprised and shocked, and I have received thousands of DMs and comments where people are like, wow, this really works. Why? They asked. They got over themselves, they got over the fear, and they asked. And then there's the complainers. The complainers will say, this is ridiculous. This is not possible in my country, in my industry, in my sector, in my function. This is the worst piece of advice I've ever heard. Now, who do you think, unfortunately, is losing out, right? So nobody really thinks that there are complainers out there. But when you read the comments, you read the tone, and you're like, hey, make sure that you have to make sure that's not you, right? Because people who do that, and they're like, you don't understand, Sonal. You don't understand how the Indian IT sector works, and this will never work. Whereas hundreds of others in the IT sector in India have gone and negotiated and have got the results they want. So you have to ask yourself, are you arguing for your strengths, or are you arguing for your limitations? So with that said, I hope this helps you to think about negotiation in a whole new light. And what is the one takeaway from this video that you are going to go and implement? I'd love to know. Put it in the comments. To continue on topics on job search, I highly recommend that you watch this video, or I think YouTube recommends that you watch it. And I trust the YouTube algorithm perfectly. That circle with my face on it means you need to subscribe to my channel. And that third link you're seeing in front of you is sign up to my newsletter, where I share my best career tips only on email. With that said, keep dreaming, keep achieving, keep supercharging. You got this.